Since living in the woods and since our whole world has changed, I have, I have very slowly just begun to accept myself for who I am, which is not what everybody does at all. And I think it started with my silver hair and just letting, because my mom never let her hair, she died with a wig on, and the wig was brown colored, and she never went gray, and we learned to just never go gray. And so I was the first in the family to do that, first in the family to get a divorce too. And through that, kind of started finding myself, because when I let my hair go gray, I was like, oh, that's what I look like, because I had dyed my hair since sunning was invented in the late 1980s, you know. So I sunned this hair for all of my life. So when I saw my natural hair color, I was like, well, that's really interesting. I was like, that's what I look like. And I could see my family history in that. Although, as usual for my posts, I am not showered and I have not done my hair or not done makeup and blah, blah, blah. So that kind of started it. And I went, oh, that's what I really look like. And then it certainly helped, because I had never gotten a compliment on my dyed hair that was so expensive and time consuming. Never once in my life got a compliment on that hair, nor should I have, because I'm a very cool tone and the hair was very, very warm tone. And it never looked right. It never really did it. So now that I let my hair go silver, I bet you I get a compliment a week on it, which is really nice. It's validation. And that we say it doesn't matter, but apparently it does. And then I've been wearing my red shawl, which you guys see in a lot of my stuff. You see the same red shawl that I've had for 20 years now. And it's a shawl that I use in meditation with the monks, which I probably, now that I look back on it, I probably shouldn't have done red, because that's kind of their color, the red orange thing. And I might look like I'm either trying to fit in or be bigger than what I am. And I kind of thought that, and I went, oh, do I appear like I'm trying too much? And then I went, I really like red. I always have. I've always loved this color. So I went, no matter what I look like, I really like this, and so I'm going to move forward with it. And so I have. I dropped the idea of what the Buddhist monks thought. And honestly, they could probably care less. They do care less. And then I started to do other things where I started sharing the journals that I have that are very much out of sync with society, but really in sync to who I am, right? And I just started sharing them here because, you know, I'm limited in how much I get out. I started sharing them here, and gradually over time, and it really is gradually over time, I just started to allow myself to be, allow my real self to be. And what's really interesting is when you do that, when you allow your real self to be, when you allow your real self to come out, and you don't try and hide it or say what will people think or do it for anyone else's approval, you kind of surprise yourself. Like, I've surprised myself. My bedroom is incredibly girly. Wasn't expecting that, but I put up a mosquito net after my mom died, and then I left it up. Like, so mosquito net with princess bed. And I'm like, it works for me. And then having a journal that looks exactly like a witch. And really, honestly, I think the more time that goes on, the more I look like a stereotypical witch, honestly. I'm never going to wear the pointed hat because I think that's a little too stereotypical, but the more time goes on, the more I look like myself, the more I discover who I am. Because you can't think yourself into knowing who you are. You've got to behave yourself into knowing who you are. And just like you guys, you're discovering it, so am I. I'm discovering it too. Where I'm like, I kind of look like a mystic witch in the woods. And then you figure that all these animals are coming towards me. I've got a squirrel on my shoulder. Other squirrels coming in. See that earlier today. The other woods coming around. One time when I did my primal scream here, I also put that up online. All the woods came running. Like, that really surprised me. The squirrel came running in. The crows came flying in. Like, the whole woods got noticed, and they all came in. And I'm like, there's just change happening here, and it's just really cool. So kind of like my magnolia plant that I didn't think was going to live, and I planted it and have just been nursing it out here in the woods, because things in order to live out here in the woods have to survive. It is not easy. It has not been easy to live out here as I do, but it's been interesting to become who I am. So you guys are along for that ride too. And I like who I am, and it doesn't matter, what anybody else thinks, but I'm kind of amazed that if I was walking through the forest right now, I would look like a mystic witch. That's amazing. And with all my herbal stuff and my mushroom stuff that I do and the therapy practice I have, I like it because I'm becoming the healer that I am, because the layers are coming off. I'm becoming the healer I am, and I'm not afraid to show what that looks like for me. Yeah, that's just really cool.